When an AI helps write a novel, teach a student, allocate public housing, or diagnose a patient, should it express the same values in every setting? ValueCompass asks a sharper question than whether a model is simply aligned. Aligned with whom, on which value, and in what context? The headline is not reassuring. Across 5 language models, the best average alignment rate with people is only 0.529. Humans often endorse national security while models reject it, and the gaps change substantially across countries and scenarios. The contribution is a reusable measurement framework, not a new alignment algorithm. It combines a psychology-grounded survey instrument, parallel elicitation from humans and models, and numerical metrics that expose agreement, distance, and the values with the largest gaps. Here is the whole pipeline. A contextualized value form collects human responses and model generations. Those 2 profiles then feed 3 views of alignment: a coarse classification score, a continuous value-by-value distance, and a ranking of the largest disagreements. The value vocabulary comes from Schwartz's theory of basic values, a cross-cultural framework from psychology. It contributes 56 named values spanning 10 motivational types, from equality and freedom to authority, family security, creativity, pleasure, and protecting the environment. Value form does not ask for values in the abstract. It first places the respondent inside one AI-assisted task, then asks how strongly each value applies to that situation. Humans and models use the same 5-point scale, from strongly disagree at -2 to strongly agree at +2. The middle option is neutral, not missing data. This matters because ValueCompass preserves the signed, graded response for distance calculations, then separately compresses responses into agree versus disagree when it computes the F1 alignment rate. The experiment crosses 7 countries with 4 social scenarios. That produces 28 contexts, and every context is evaluated on all 56 values. For each model, the core grid therefore contains 568 context value items before prompt variation averaging. 7 countries are the United States, United Kingdom, India, Germany, France, Canada, and Australia. The design uses the same country labels for the human sample and the model prompts, allowing direct comparisons within each named national context. The 4 vignettes deliberately increase in stakes. Collaborative writing is relatively low risk. Education adds monitoring and student support. Public sector housing affects scarce resources, and healthcare places AI inside diagnostic decision support. Crucially, the value list stays fixed while the vignette changes. That means a shift in the score for authority, privacy, or national security can be attributed to the task and country framing rather than to a different questionnaire. The instrument is designed as a controlled contextual probe. Single wording could manufacture a model's apparent values, so each value question is asked through 8 prompt variants. The variants change scenario phrasing, value wording, component order, task instructions, and formatting requirements. Then the scores are averaged. The appendix makes the zero-shot prompt auditable. It contains the contextual scenario, the value name and definition, the allowed rating options, and an output requirement such as JSON. No chain of thought or judge model is involved. The model reports its own rating directly. The model sample mixes 2 closed systems and 3 open systems: GPT-4o Mini, O3 Mini, Llama 370 billion, Gemma 29 billion, and DeepSeek R1. All generations use temperature 0, 2, and a 10-generation stability check shows less than 5% variance. The human side contains 112 prolific participants recruited under IRB guidelines. Stratified sampling assigns 4 participants from each country to each of the 4 scenarios, and every person completes the survey once. That yields 272 human value ratings. After averaging and normalization, each context becomes 250 6-dimensional vectors, 1 for model responses and 1 for human responses. The framework compares corresponding coordinates, so the distance for a value like freedom is never mixed with the response for authority. First metric asks only whether humans and models fall on the same side of agree versus disagree. The normalized ratings are binarized and compared with an F1 score. This alignment rate is easy to summarize, but it deliberately throws away how far apart 2 ratings are. Second metric restores that nuance. Alignment distance is the absolute difference between the model and human score for one context and one value. Averaging those distances within a country or topic reveals where the gap is consistently large. Finally, the 56 distances are sorted within a scenario. This ranking turns a global score into a diagnostic list. The top entries are the values a developer should inspect first. Two systems can have similar average alignment, yet fail on completely different principles. These metrics answer different questions. F1 says whether broad inclinations match. Distance says how strongly each rating differs, and ranking says which values dominate the mismatch. Treating any one of them as the complete definition of alignment would hide information. The heat map makes the comparison concrete. Humans agree with more of the 56 values, while DeepSeek R1 reports more disagreement. The bottom panel subtracts the two profiles value by value, exposing both shared priorities and sharp local mismatches. DeepSeek R1 has the highest average F1 at 0, 529, followed by Gemma 2 at 0, 516, and O3 Mini at 0, 508. Llama 3 reaches 0, 464, and GPT-4o Mini is lowest at 0, 405. Reasoning-oriented models therefore do not win consistently, even though two rank near the top. Disagreement is not uniform. Humans and models align on values such as successful and capable, but public image and national security show large gaps, with people frequently endorsing national security while models largely reject it. The benchmark identifies the mismatch. It does not declare either side morally correct. Country framing changes the picture. India has the lowest alignment for every evaluated model. For DeepSeek R1, Germany reaches 0, 685, while India falls to 0, 255. The paper also finds different value rank orders, not merely the same list shifted upward or downward. The appendix ranks every value gap for Germany and India, then repeats the analysis across all 7 countries. The long tail shapes differ, showing why one global alignment number cannot tell a deployment team which values will become contentious in a particular setting. Scenario context matters independently of country. The 4 topic heat maps and ranked distances change from collaborative writing to education, public allocation, and healthcare. The model can therefore appear aligned in a low-stakes creative task while exposing different value gaps in a medical one. This appendix view makes the context dependence explicit. DeepSeek R1's largest value distances are re-ranked separately for educational supervision, public sectors, collaborative writing, and healthcare. Context-aware alignment means evaluating the task that will actually be deployed. Open-ended responses add an important interpretation. Participants often called ambition, wealth, and enjoying life irrelevant to AI because a system does not have human emotions. When misalignment appeared, they preferred human oversight, constraints, neutrality, or abandoning the tool. Their most frequently named responsible AI priority is fairness, mentioned 27 times, followed by trustworthiness at 19. Accuracy appears 10 times, transparency 8, privacy 7, helpfulness 5, and accountability twice. These themes are not identical to the original Schwartz list, which hints that AI-specific values may need extensions. ValueCompass is a diagnostic, not ground truth. The human sample is small, only 112 people across 7 countries, and it emphasizes Western contexts. Human self-reports can show social desirability bias. More fundamentally, prompted model ratings may not reveal a model's enacted behavior or complex internal value encoding. The central lesson is not that one model has the right values. It is that value alignment is a profile conditioned on people, place, and task. ValueCompass turns that profile into something inspectable. Ask the same 56 questions, preserve context, measure both course agreement and graded distance, then examine which values fail before deployment.